Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here from May 7th. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in the market today. First on the board, we got our June live cattle. Did see an exciting day here across this cattle market. Increasing volatility here today once again as we saw some more selling pressure coming in early. This market has spent the last 3 days, kind of building up some support here, trying to build up a bull case to get moving back towards those highs. However, today this market opened up and flushed everyone out here from the last 3 days. This market's opening range hitting the ground today and selling off immediately, flushing all the way down there, briefly testing 247 at the lows. This market did see a nice little snapback all the way to that opening range today before getting rejected once again off of that 253 area. Finishing the day there just above 250. We can see here we got above average volume here on this big sell-off, so we were seeing some distribution days. So this market is continuing to pull back here, given these wide ranges and increased volatility. I encourage everyone to just slow play this thing before as we're going into the weekend. Tomorrow's last trading session of the week, so no need to be jumping in and be a hero here. Look for this volatility to continue to settle down. This market may need a steeper pullback down here into the 240s and test our major averages here to find some more buyers. The uptrend still remains intact here at the moment, but we do need to take note of this heavy volume selling day and the increased volatility here. So we might just need to continue to let this market cool off, pull back a little bit here, and wait for this thing to stabilize before we commit to any more upside. So in the meantime, slow play this thing as we go into the weekend. We should have a better idea of how this market's going to play out here after tomorrow's session. So just be cautious here with this increased volatility and this heavy volume selling today, as that could lead to more selling pressure as we go into tomorrow's session. Next up, our August feeders on the board. Big red day here in this feeder market as well. Prices did see an early breakdown here, flushing all the way down there towards 365. Not able to recover quite as much as we have seen a little less strength here in this feeder market. Eventually finishing down there near those lows at 366, 67 on the day. We can see this feeder market drifting back down here towards the current week's lows, increasing volume here on the selling pressure. Volatility picking up. So far, this market is just looking like it may need a little bit more time to digest this volatility. Kind of hang out here in the 360s, 370s, pick up some more support down here near our 50-day average or the low 360s. This uptrend still remains intact here at the moment. However, we are still failing to get back towards those recent highs. We just want to continue like that live cattle market. Just slow play this thing as we go into the weekend. Let this thing try and stabilize, see what kind of action we have to finish out this week, and that should give us a better clue, better picture on how this market's going to play out into week 19. So slow play this thing. We could see a little bit more selling pressure tomorrow given the increased volatility we saw today, so be on the lookout for that. And we'll just wait for this thing to play out the rest of the week, and should give us a better idea of how this market's going to act as we head into the next week. Next up, we got our July corn futures on the board. We did see more downside here today, but seeing a nice strong close late today gives these bulls for another chance at a bounce. This market did undercut that 50-day average, poking all the way down here into the low 460s. We did test this prior pocket of volume that was responsible for this big breakout here up to 487. So a little bit of buyer pushback down here. If we continue to see today's range hold as we go into the weekend, if we see some buyer support and even bids above today's high at 460, 469 and 3/4 to call it 470. If we get some early bids above that 470 level and that 20-day average, we could see this market kind of snap back up here towards the 480s. We continue to see increased volatility here in this corn market as well. Seeing some wide daily ranges, good pushback off those lows today. Bulls are set up nicely here for potential rally into the weekend. So I'll look for this corn market to try and make a spike back up there towards the 470s and 480s as we head into the weekend. Similar action here in this crude oil market today as that corn market prices flushing lower, testing that prior day's low down there near 90 bucks, but finding good support at that 50-day average. This market kind of coming back up here, seeing a strong close late today. Setting the bulls up nicely. If we could get with these long wicks down here, that's looking like a little bit of a springboard here. See if these bulls can make another run up here into the low hundreds. Still not expecting major upside, any sort of sustained up moves. Just could see this thing continue to bounce back and forth between about 90 and 110 bucks here. Look for this thing to keep on staying pretty volatile, seeing some big spikes both directions. Not really something that we want to be messing around with right now. Let this crude oil market continue to settle down. That should be offering better opportunities in months to come. But at the moment, let this thing continue to digest all this mess recently, and should offer better opportunities at a different date. And equity markets did see a little bit of selling pressure here today. Nothing major, but just kind of up in some overbought territory. Seeing this market finishing lower today. Each of our indexes kind of pushing back off of those highs a little bit, but still staying in a very productive territory. Very strong uptrends here across each of these indexes. The Dow being the weakest, but still seeing some good strength here across this market in general. This thing has gotten pretty extended here, so with this rejection today, be looking for pullbacks. However, as we've seen here in recent weeks, we don't usually get more than 1 or 2 red days in a row. So look for this thing to just continue to balance out up here near these all-time highs. We're going to need some selling pressure coming in across those mega caps, and so far there's just still some pretty good action out there. So not expecting any major breakdowns. The stock market still remains in a very healthy spot. Good environment right now. It's a good time to stay invested. We should see more upside, big picture, going into the summer. Pullback would be nice to offer some discounts, but this market just continues to be relentless. Look for the upside to continue here as we head into the weekend. That's all we got for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in this week. We'll catch you guys up back on week 19's Market Watch here over the weekend.